they already on the show?
No. Dad Tales named one of their episodes Humble Braggers because they were talking about humble brags, and then they hit up them and were like, "Oh, what is this?" And then so like you heard about them through Dad Tales.
This week's Band of the Week is brought to you by Stranger Things. Because the band sounds like Stranger Things.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Let's play it.
1, 2, 3.
Dope. We're not live yet. I'm gonna refresh. Now we are. Dope.
Yes. Did you tweet?
Yep.
All right. Hello, listeners. This is Barely ADS, the show where we shoot from the hip. I'm your host, Ben Malone, and with me tonight, my brother, Xanafan711. How's it going, dude?
It's going well, man. It's going well.
If you didn't know, we record this show live on twitch.tv Thursday nights at about 10 to 11 p.m. God's time. That's EST. I'm going to call it GST, God's Standard Time.
Well, right now it's GDT.
What's that?
God's Daylight Time.
God doesn't mess around with that. He told me. I walked up to this bush. It was on fire. Anyway, Band of the Week this week is brought to you by Mirror Factories. Mirror Factories, they hire a lot of new employees because people can see themselves working there.
I love it.
The Band of the Week is Humble Braggers. You can find them at humblebraggers.bandcamp.com or on some old episode of a podcast that doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
Do you like Stranger Things? Because that's what it sounds like.
So it's like trippy, spooky music.
It's got synths.
It's got synths. All right.
It's got synths. Hey, if you want me to talk about your band or anything, send us an email. Send it to barelyadestinyshow@gmail.com, twitter.com/barelyads, or go to our website, barelyads.com. And from there, you can get to our Discord, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the YouTube link and subscribing. Please do it. I found that the Discord link on the website is currently broken, but hopefully it won't be by the time you try to do it. Yeah, I don't think we put in a perma never expire link.
I thought I did. Oh, well, we'll try it again.
Yeah, it's okay. I already hit up our IT director. Told him. Also, you can support us by going to patreon.com/barelyads. Did we rip that stream down?
Yeah, I just posted it to YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Go to our YouTube. We had, so we had a fundraiser for the show, and we hit our goal, and then a little bit extra. We needed $70. We got, what, 110?
105.
105. Fuck you guys for not giving us an extra 5.
Actually, let's do those shout outs right now. So shout out to Rock City Roller, Nips, Shane, Fluffy, Ian, Gator, other Gator actually, Bibble, Jay, Death, Maddie, and Mitchy Slaps. Thank you guys. You guys are
too bad he can't post anything about it's sad that Mitchy Slaps can't post about his donation on Twitter.
Hey, I did hear him talking though, because he is permanently suspended from Twitter, that he's been enjoying the time away.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hopped onto Discord today and found that all my usual channels were full of messages that I never have checked. and that bummed me out. Such as the BMX Club channel. Um, yeah.
I'll be posting a pic of my new bike in there tomorrow.
This is if it's not a BMX clip, I don't want to see it.
Well, too bad. It's gonna turn into bike and skate channel.
No, no. If somebody posts a freaking picture of a longboard, I'm deleting the channel.
Fluffy, you have homework.
No. I'm gonna go on the record right now. Longboarding is not skateboarding.
Oh, it's not. That's why it's called longboarding.
Yeah, but when I tell somebody, oh yeah, I skate or I used to skate, and they're like, oh, me too. I got a longboard. I'm like, you don't skate. That's not skateboarding.
It's longboarding.
Just riding around on a stupid thing that takes too much effort to go really slow.
Unless
Dumb.
you're on a hill.
Oh, unless you're on a hill, and then you could just fuck yourself up by falling down it.
Yeah.
What kind of a sport is that where you're just like, you know what we do? The most extreme version of our sport is going downhill. I'm like, whoa, oh my God. What a bunch of freaking living life to the extreme. There's people that longboard and listen to this show and they're like, fuck you, dude.
I mean, it is fun. It's just not the same.
It's not skateboarding. Don't try and compare what you're doing to what I was doing. Okay.
Right.
If you're not doing ollies, at least get out. Hey, speaking of tricks, I have an update.
Oh, well, we should finish real quick talking about the fundraising stream. Basically, we did a Total Request Live style show where
we took no requests.
Nope, we didn't. We gave recommendations rather. So it was 3 hours. Ben and I hung out and we talked to Bibble live and we talked to Death live and we played a bunch of music videos from Ben's previous project, Wolf House, Ohio.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Apparently that channel's got like 450 subscribers and this channel doesn't, but
yeah. You guys could get a / Wolf House, Ohio.
We do.
Oh.
So go to youtube.com / Wolf House, Ohio. Watch all those videos. My friends and I recorded the audio and shot the video and then made what I, at the end of it, affectionately called the worst music videos you'll ever watch.
The worst? Why are they the worst?
Yeah. Because think about how cool a real music video is, and this is just a bunch of like shots of them playing in my friend's basement.
So I think it's dope.
They're cool, but as music videos go, they're bad music videos.
It's live video recording videos.
They're great live videos. They're bad music videos.
There you go.
There's a lot of stuff on there. There's some interviews on there. We listened to some interviews with Bob Nana, interview with Gates. And if you want, you can go to the YouTube channel and click on it. Watch that. Actually, if you're like at work or something like that, instead of listening to a podcast, why don't you check that out after this podcast, of course.
Yeah, do it. You won't regret it.
Yeah, it's like listening to a radio show.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what we did. This week, okay, we're talking about tricks.
Okay.
I had my wife take a video of me doing a bunny hop so I could see, and I did. I'm riding. I practiced in the grass. Okay. So that way I can try and get them. I can do bunny hops on the concrete, but if I'm trying to like really push myself and, you know, my goal is to get a really good bunny hop, nice high one.
Okay.
So I'm riding through the grass and I do this bunny hop and it feels so good. All the motions came together. I didn't land jerkily. I just like came down nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And she showed me the video and my back tire got maybe like 4 inches off the ground.
That's more than I thought you were going to say.
So I went back to YouTube, rewatched a bunch of how to bunny hop videos, and today I practiced just the basics.
Okay.
So I did the basics, just step 1, which is pulling up the bars. I thought I was too cool for school. I was like, I can pull up my front bars. Guess what? No, I can't. So big problem was I kept leaning too far over the front and was using most of my arm strength to pull the bike up.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. What I started doing, I think we talked last week about how I said that I started leaning back to kind of get my weight thrown around to make everything easier. Well, today on the concrete,
Mm-hmm.
I was practicing just pulling the bars up as high as I possibly could and pulling them hard enough that I finally achieved a goal I've been trying to do. I can comfortably ride and pull the bars up and hit my thigh with the handlebars. That's how hard I'm pulling those up.
Okay.
It's pretty high. I took some video and I'm getting that front wheel up high. I did like 2 bunny hops like that. One of them went fine, and the other one, I like looped out real bad and fell on my butt,
Oh,
which is fine. Hey, he's here. He hasn't missed
What's up,
anything.
boys?
right. Hey.
Nothing. You recording already?
Yep, I'm recording already.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna clap real quick. 1, 2, 3. So I was talking to Steve about doing bunny hops.
Yep.
Telling him I went back to basics, just working on pulling the bars up, and I got to the point where I'm pulling the bars up and hitting my thigh with the handlebars.
Nice. You're making me want to try. I want to get a video of me doing a bunny hop on my heavy as hell touring bike with drop bars. I think that would be pretty funny.
If you hit your thigh with those bars, you're already on your back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're like dead on the ground. But okay, I take that challenge, but here's the thing. If you show me some bullcrap bunny hop where both wheels leave the ground at the same time, I'm not counting it. It's got to be front then back.
Okay.
Because that's not a real bunny hop. That's a garbage hop.
If I could get both wheels off the ground at the same time at all, I'm gonna be stoked.
I could get both the wheels off the ground on a beach cruiser.
This is a steel bike.
Yeah,
it's not made for that. It's made to travel long distances.
How heavy is your bike? Do you know?
How what?
How heavy is your bike?
I think it's 14 pounds.
Yeah, you should be fine, dude. My bike weighs 25 pounds.
What?
I was gonna say, I think the average BMX is like 25 because now they're reinforcing them and stuff for all the crazy jumping and shit.
25 to 30.
Oh wow. Okay. Well then, never mind. Well, my bike is heavy for non-BMX bikes.
Yeah, that's why when you're like 15, I was like, you should definitely be able to pull that thing up.
Yeah.
But also, I bent my sprocket. Sad day for me.
Rip.
Yeah, it really sucks because basically what ended up happening after I bent it, we tried to like bend it back and fix it by just like slowly turning the cranks and finding where it was tight. And it was weird because half of a half crank, basically the down crank from my right side was like sticky. And then it would go smooth back to the top and sticky to the bottom. So the only way I was able to get my cranks to move nice and work right is by loosening the ever living shit out of my chain.
Oh man.
So basically, I'm not doing much of anything until I get a new sprocket. I've just been riding around like super slow in my driveway. That's all that my bike can handle right now. If I'm pedaling hard, you can hear like a zzz when I push down on my right side.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the chain hitting the spokes.
Yep,
So,
maybe.
yeah. And I think I may have bent my back wheel a little bit. Needless to say that the bike that I got is not designed for a 190-pound adult man. Maybe if I was just cruising around on it, but I'm really putting it through its paces, and it's not holding up well.
By the time fall hits, the only thing left original on that thing is going to be the frame.
Probably not even that, my man. I'm already in the market looking at some used bikes. I found a Kink Gap for $120. So
I was gonna
that's
say, are you buying complete or are you going with like?
if I had the money to custom build, I definitely would. let's say this: probably by the end of my bike's life, it'll be a custom bike.
Yeah. Just get parts as they break.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good method. That's also how I ended up breaking my old Jeep a lot.
Yeah.
And getting into a lot of money. I don't want to say money issues, but it was definitely broken a lot, and I definitely had to fix a lot. And there was definitely times where if I just skip lunch this week, I can totally swap that axle.
Yep. I've been thinking the same thing. The only problem is it's like me being like, if I can convince my wife not to eat out tonight.
Dude, that's another like battle. You gotta have it at some point, because I forget what it was. There was one point earlier in the year, and I'm like, holy shit, how much did I spend last month? And I looked at it, and it's like pizza, Chinese, Moe's, pizza, burritos, for the last month of Fridays or whatever. And I was like, listen, we got to talk about this, because we just dropped like, $200 last month on fast food, and that's not good for multiple reasons. But right now we're talking about budget.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I noticed that my sprocket was bent, and then of course, being that I have the most budget bike on the planet, I've got one-piece cranks. So,
There you go.
if I can get all the bearings and everything out correctly, we'll be fine. If I screw any of that up, I got to drop like another $80 to $100 on new cranks.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is you're just gonna have to spend the $80 to $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was like, maybe I should just buy that used kink gap for 120 and just clean it up.
Is it
throw my handlebars?
Do it.
Lightly used, or is it like?
Honestly, it looks like
rough.
No, it looks like a kid bought a bike and then rode it around.
Mm-hmm.
Never really tried any tricks and left it outside too much.
Oh yeah.
So you just got to replace a bunch of the hardware, because the frame will be fine.
No, it's not even rusty. It's just extremely dirty.
Oh.
But like looking at the frame, it's not really scratched up. The cranks aren't scratched up.
Mm-hmm.
The handlebars look clean still, as far as like no scratches. And I was like, dude, did you ride this thing? Did you try and do a trick on it? Did you ever fall? I was like, my bike is in worse condition.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Well, here's the important question. You've been riding your bike a lot. How's the weight loss challenge going for you? Have you been tracking it at all?
I don't weigh myself.
No?
I don't know where a scale is.
Oh, I'm sure Dad has one.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I do the mirror test and I look at my belly in the mirror, and it's not as big as it used to be.
Hey, there you go. Well, I'm down 7 pounds from just before Beer Fest, with just walking after work at the park.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Feels good.
My problem is that I can't really lose too much weight because I don't weigh a ton already. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 6 feet tall and weigh 190 pounds. Like, how much can I lose before you're like, dude, you're not healthy anymore?
30 pounds.
The ideal weight for a 6 foot person's 180.
180?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm 5'9", and there was a point where I weighed 190 pounds, and that's you're doing fine.
Yeah, it's like I'm 10 over, but like I'm very out of shape. I have been noticing though that like my shoulders and my biceps and my forearms today were pretty sore.
There you go.
Which
That's good.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really felt like that in a while. It's either from pulling up the bike, well, like also my hips and my back are pretty sore, and I think it might have been from when I tried to. I told you my wife filmed me doing that bunny hop, and then I watched it. I tried to do a better one, and totally looped out and flat landed on my back in the grass. Just
That's always fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, this is. I just kind of laid there for a moment.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to take this weight loss opportunity to transition us into what we've been playing, because after work, what I've been doing is going to the nature realm. You've been there before, Ben? All right, so it's like it's a park in Akron, but it's just a bunch of trails through the woods with like signs for what this kind of tree is and that kind of stuff. It's a really well kept park, but I've been playing Pokemon Go again. And
Oh, dude, everybody at work is playing that.
yeah, it's a ton of fun. There's an event right now where Team Rocket's out. So some of the Pokestops are like taken over by Team Rocket Grunt, and you spin the Pokestop thing, then Team Rocket pops out, and you're like, oh crap, it's Team Rocket. You fight them, and then after you fight them, you get to catch.
They blast off at the speed of light.
Well, they do, but you also get to catch one of their Pokemon because in pure Team Rocket fashion, they leave behind a Pokemon. And so far I've gotten 2 like evil Charmanders. They have like this purple glow and like weird purple eyes.
That sounds awesome.
Yes, I'm pretty stoked on that. I caught a bunch of ghost and water Pokemon today, including a Piplup. He's my favorite. So, yeah, it's been a ton of fun playing Pokemon Go. And like the more that I go out and walk and play, the longer, every time I'm out longer. So it was like 20 minutes and 30 minutes and 40 minutes. And today was an hour. I was just walking around. I like got through the path I normally take to maximize my Pokestops. And it was only half an hour. I'm like, I'm going to do another lap. So I just went around again.
When are you going to find them mountain bike trails and start riding those?
Tomorrow. I'm going to hit the towpath on Saturday, I think. But like,
I talked about hitting the mountain bike trail last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that shit is fun.
All right, so I'll explain the kind of bike that I'm receiving tomorrow that I ordered. I got a Mongoose. So
what's it called?
An Elroy. It's a touring bike. So, or an touring, adventure, gravel. They're kind of interchangeable a little bit. So basically,
is that a basket on the front?
No, it's a rack. It's just flat. So it's
on the front.
Yeah. So it's a Mongoose, which I got, I like because I recognize that name. The frame is like a road bike. But it's got a little bit of an angle up from the seat instead of being flat like a road bike. And it's for, sturdiness, I guess. And then, it's got drop bars like a road bike. But it has tires that are slightly wider than a hybrid. So like not as big as mountain bike tires, but not as skinny as like a hybrid or a road bike tire. So I can take it on trails and on gravel and stuff like that. And they're made to carry weight. So they're made so you can pack up a bunch of crap on it and ride. And it has the hardware built into the frame, so I can add another rack in the back and fenders, which are very, like, if you really think about it, if you go on a bike tour, you're going to want fenders so you're not spraying water up on your back if it rains or something like that. So
yeah, you definitely want to put some fenders on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
These tires they're interesting because they're like not mountain bike tires and they're not street tires. Like when I say street tires, I'm not talking, I should be more specific. They're not BMX street tires, which are definitely 1,000 times different than like a road bike.
Yeah.
But they, like, if I was taking this through the woods, I would not be excited about it.
Yeah. Well, from what I've read, that's where they saved a little money on the bike is the tires. So those will probably
tires aren't expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably replace those pretty quick with some more sturdy ones because I do intend on putting quite a bit of miles on this thing. I live like 10 minutes from the Canal Towpath Trail that goes like from Cleveland all the way down to like Massillon, Canton area. It's a couple 100-mile trail. So I'll be all up and down that as I go. Maybe try and head through the Cuyahoga Valley a couple times, things like that. See what
are ram bars for?
Ram bars? You mean the handlebars?
Yeah, handlebars that have the little hooks that come down like a ram.
They're called drop bars. It's so you have there's multiple different hand positions that you can use. And it's so you can, the lower part is to be more aerodynamic. So if you
what I'm wondering.
Yeah, so if you grab lower, it's more aerodynamic. But the reason they put those on touring bikes is because you can switch between the different hand positions to change it up so you don't exhaust certain muscles over time. Because it's a lot of stress on your arms to be. You need to put a lot of weight on your arms while you're riding. So
That's also interesting that the back brake cable goes through the bottom tube.
yeah, well, it's also that's because I don't know if this is the reason, but it has disc brakes instead of your standard clamp brakes.
That's becoming more common on a lot of mountain bikes too, I think, right?
I don't know about mountain bikes, but I know it's a lot more common on road bikes, so you can stop faster.
All right, mountain bikes and BMX bikes. We talked earlier about longboarders not being skateboarders. BMX dudes, stop making stupid video or BMX mountain bike guys. I don't want to see your video when I look up how to bunny hop. Stop showing me.
Right.
No,
So-
mountain bike guys are crazy for sure. That's the most nuts I think that you can get is being like, you know what? I'm gonna go a million miles an hour down a mountain with a bunch of rocks and crap all over the place, and then jump the skinniest ramp ever made down a hill.
And then it banks up to like a 90-degree sidewall and back down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
like
you're
the
going,
berms that they
up
they
on
ride
the
across
wall.
over.
Yeah, they're
Right.
parallel to the ground at some point.
That's crazy talk. That all their stuff is crazy.
Hey, there's another
Um,
craze that's been going on in a couple Discords too. That's
Is it
disc golf. Yeah, dude. And I put the word out on Facebook yesterday. I'm going out on Saturday with some of the Akron DIY guys. So we're gonna throw some discs with
That's
one
cool.
of Ben's
We
old
used to go a
bandmates.
little bit. You going with Josh?
Tyler. I imagine Josh will end up going too, though.
Yeah, Tyler is
Like one of the best
Okay.
dudes ever.
he's okay at disc golf.
Oh yeah. But he's a really
And
awesome dude to hang out with.
He's on the underside of okay.
Hmm.
It's okay. He'll never listen to this.
Rude.
Scott, you been riding bikes?
No,
I
man.
actually have a question though. What kind of
Hmm.
bike are you gonna get for your son?
My son?
Yeah.
Probably
Like-
one with training wheels. I don't know.
All right. Have you heard of these bikes? They're called balance bikes.
No.
They have no pedals on them. So basically, it's for little kids. They put their butt on the seat, hold the handlebars, and they just walk with it. And they walk around, and I was like, well, that's dumb. And then I saw once they get faster at it, they just pick their feet up and they can coast, and they're balanced on it like they got a regular bike basically.
Huh.
But if they start to fall, their feet are already right there. They're not up on the pedals. It's not scary. So they just
Yeah.
put their feet back down. And it's basically a way to have your kids skip training wheels.
I'd rather do the training wheels.
That's fine. We got Iris a balance bike.
Nice.
And the reason I really like them is because a bunch of them are modeled after BMX bikes.
You got her a Schwinn, right? It's a Schwinn.
Yeah, she's got a Schwinn. Don't let that fool you. It was like $60 or $70.
Right.
They're very inexpensive.
Well, Schwinns are
well,
very
did-
inexpensive anymore. They got bought a
I
couple
was
times.
gonna say,
and
didn't they get bought out a couple times, and
Mhm.
now it's like,
it's
My-
not the same.
Oh no, my dad doesn't have a Schwinn. He's got a Huffy. Never mind. My dad's
Huffy?
bike is the total piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the Schwinn trailer on it to put the kids in,
hmm
and we live at the bottom of a hill. So like, I'll put my daughter in there and I'll try and ride up the hill, and I'm like dead tired by the time I get to the top. The gear ratio on that is like the front gear is so big because it's meant for flat ground cruising. So like, of course, it's got a
Jesus.
giant gear ratio, and I'm just like trying to pedal uphill, like I'm literally dying. Oh my god! Especially
Yeah.
because like the sprocket's got to be bigger than 32T.
Yeah.
Sorry, 32 teeth, and then my bike has 25, so my sprocket's like this, like smaller than a PlayStation disc.
Yeah.
oh god.
It's pretty small, so I'm just like zzz, ripping. I have really fast acceleration on that thing.
I bet my
Yeah.
bike would be pretty good for towing the kids around. It'll be good training for me too.
It's more weight than you think. It's weird. My daughter's turned into a little butthead about it because when she gets in the trailer, she's
Uh-huh.
like she's basically whining unless we're going fast. And I'm just like, "Ugh."
You set the standard. That's how
Well,
it
I'm like,
goes.
Yeah.
there's too many hills over here. Like the route that I take is up a hill, down a hill, up a hill,
Hmm.
and then just turn
Yeah.
around.
I can see how
Wow.
that'd be a problem.
Yeah. So it's basically every time you're going downhill, I'm pedaling so fast just so I don't have to pedal up a hill. Anyway, I played some video games.
Oh yeah.
I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe today because work was super slow.
Nice.
Nice. Love that
And
game. It's so fun.
yeah, I didn't know there was a bunch of unlockables in it, so like I kind of want to grind out a bunch of Mario Kart. Also, I read a story about a class action lawsuit against Nintendo for drifting drifting analog sticks on their Joy
Oh, no
Cons.
shit.
Oh, we have a story
Um,
about that in the notes.
My sticks are definitely drifting. I didn't notice it playing any other games, but when I would turn right, I could turn right really well, and when I turned left, it was like so like didn't want to go.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
I was playing 200cc trying to win races without really being able to turn left. Every left turn was a drift, no
Yeah.
matter how small the turn, just because I had to like hop into it to be like, this needs to work.
Yeah. I don't have drift on
Hmm.
my Joy Cons, but I do on my like little cheap wired
Your,
controller thing.
your Power A Pro controller.
Yes.
See, if you would have bought that Nintendo brand.
It is Nintendo brand.
No, Nintendo is the Nintendo brand. That's Power A.
No, it's
It's
Nintendo
Nintendo.
brand.
No, it's not. It's licensed by Nintendo, which is different than being made by Nintendo.
Is it really?
Yes, that's Power A has the license to make Nintendo Switch stuff.
Oh,
That's
you're
who
right.
makes
I
the
just
wired
looked.
one.
Dang.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna be getting an actual pro controller at some point soon because I've been
I got
playing
lucky.
those.
I bought mine for like $30 used
Yeah.
off somebody.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've been playing my Switch a lot. I actually went to go set up and write show notes stuff tonight and hadn't been on my computer since I edited the last episode because I've been playing so much Switch. So I've been just like laying in bed. I bought that like grip thing so my hands don't hurt anymore. Yes. Shout out to Scary. And I'm like 30 hours into Octopath Traveler now.
I'm like 30 years into my life.
I got all 8 dudes, and I'm about halfway through all of their chapter 2s. So like, you get all the dudes, and then that's chapter 1, and then each character has a chapter 2, and then a chapter 3. And I did accidentally walk into an area that was like level 50. I'm like, oh, this game is long. So yeah, my highest character just hit 30, and then the majority of the other ones are around 20. It's because I'm locked into that original character still. I haven't been able to swap out yet. But I'm treating it like Pokemon. So I'm slowly just cycling in all the characters as I go and leveling them up
It's Pokemon with like 5% of the Pokemon in it.
Yeah, there's only 8 people. But,
I caught them all.
All right, so here's something really dope. So just like 8 characters. Each of them has kind of a little niche for what their like strengths and weaknesses are. Well, there are like little shrines hidden around the chapter 2 locations, and you can get jobs, and each job is one of the other subclasses. So you can basically equip a second subclass, so you double up on everything. So in the end, I'll be able to have like everything at the same time with any characters. So you're just like, so right now I have my warrior guy is also cleric, and then my cleric is also a thief, and then I only have 3 of the jobs. So the merchant is also a scholar, and then I have the scholar with me right now. So once I get more, it'll just open up the versatility, and there's like a ton of different skills. You can get every skill from the alternate subclass, and then you're allowed to equip 4 like passive skills, and you can choose between like your actual class and whatever your job is for those extra skills. It's awesome. I've been having so much fun with this game, and the story is so good. The Dancer's story specifically is ridiculous. There's like murder, espionage, and hookers, and like slavery and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Blackjack?
There's probably blackjack.
Scott, what have you been up to this week? You been playing games? What have you been doing?
Oh man, I've been just fucking thrashing in the garage on the Jeep outside of work. It was one of my long work weeks, so 4 days, and it was a lighter work week. Good.
What's up with the Jeep?
Dude, so did I tell you guys a story about the winch?
No.
All right, so
I mean, how long ago how long did this happen?
I ordered one July 4th.
Okay, then no.
Okay, so I'll keep it quick. So I ordered a winch, Warn VR10, 10,000 pound winch, because the Jeep that I have now needs a 10,000 pound winch because rule of thumb for recovery is at least 1.5 times your vehicle. If you want to be really safe, at least 2 times your vehicle. It's about a 5,000 pound vehicle. Figure with the forces of being stuck and stuff, you're going to need like 10,000 pounds. So my old 8,000 pound Warn would definitely be, cutting into the safety factor on that. So I decided to pull the trigger on a new one. I was going to wait till season to get it, but one of the large online retailers for off-road had a 4th of July sale. Tax paid and shipping paid.
Ooh.
And they knocked like $200 off the winch. And I said, okay, I'm in, So I bought it that day. I had a little extra money kicking around in the Jeep fund because I knew I was going to be stupid with this stuff. And I'm like, there's going to be something else. I know there's going to be something else. I'm just going to hold it. So that was July 4th or 5th, I think. On the same time, I ordered skid plates. So the skid plates get to my door, like literally, I ordered them on Sunday. They're there Tuesday, and they weren't supposed to be there till Wednesday. I'm like, oh wow, thank you. And they're awesome. So we installed those in my bumper, and then the winch is still out there. Don't know what's going on. So I call them like July 8th. Said, okay, hey guys, I ordered a winch. I want to make sure it's on its way. And they're like, oh yeah, so we checked that, and this is after waiting on hold for 20 minutes. Like, it says it's not going to be until the 17th. We ran out of supply. Now, keep in mind, large national four-wheel drive retailer. So, like anyone who knows car parts and ordering stuff for cars from a large online retailer, one of the biggest in whatever niche, they should have stuff, but they don't. Sometimes they run out. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So they say it'll be the 17th. Okay, cool. So the following week, I'm on day shift for a spec rewrite we were doing. So I'm on day shift, don't have time off. I work Wednesday. That's usually my day off where I get all this kind of stuff done. So I'm like calling people on lunch and stuff when I get home from work. So I call up that online retailer. This is like 15th or 16th, I want to say. So it's like Prime Day. And stupid me didn't know there was an Amazon strike going on. So I'm like totally oblivious to that. Did not hear the fucking story, and I'm kind of upset with myself about that. So I got to figure out how I'm going to make up for that. But I called the place and they're like, oh yeah, now it's the first week of August. Again, after waiting on hold for like 20, 30 minutes. They're like, oh yeah, that's not coming in until the first week of August. You guys have my email and my information correct, right? They're like, yeah, and they verified. I said, okay, why didn't you call me or email me or something to has my card been charged? No. Okay, cancel the fucking order now. What? I said cancel the fucking order. Okay, cancel it. Went on Amazon, found one, same day, like roughly within like a $20 range of the price. I said, fuck it, I'll eat it, ordered it up. Okay, cool. I get an email the next day from Amazon, from the seller.
Mm-hmm.
We're having issues with our supplier. We're not going to be able to fulfill this order until September 5th.
Oh no.
Okay. So meanwhile,
Cancel.
I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting there in the conference room, and we're doing a spec rewrite. It's like an engineer and like 2 other technicians, and They're like, all right, let's break for coffee. I'm like, that sounds good. So I'm sitting there and I'm going on my phone. The fuck, September 15th? No, no. So I pull up Amazon. I'm looking. I find another one within $20 of that winch. Same model, everything. Order it. Okay, awesome. Cancel the other order. Great. Okay, so I should have one, and it says the ship date or the arrival date will be between July 23rd and 20th. Okay, fine. It's still before we hit the road. I should have time to get it on. You know, not that we need it, but it's like I don't want to sit in my garage for 3 months. You know.
Yeah.
So I just get it done. Okay, fine. So, that was 9 or 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. I get an email probably 1 o'clock that it's shipped. I said, okay, this is good to know. I have a unit. It is in transit somewhere along the line, right?
Yeah.
Great. Good news. The next day, I go to the store with my son to get an Easy Pass for vacation. You know, one of the throughway tag things, because we have tolls here, for anyone who doesn't know, with New York State. So I get our Easy Pass. We do a couple other things. Come home to have lunch, and I look, and there's a box on my doorstep. I'm like, what the? Oh, maybe some of my stuff from Amazon got here. So I walk over with my son, and I said, buddy, look at that. I said, that's Daddy's winch. And he goes, winch? On Jeep? I said, yeah, we're gonna put it on the Jeep. And so he tries to pick it up. It's a 60-pound box. He's not obviously gonna lift it. So he falls on his ass, and I felt bad. It was really cute though. So I pick it up, put it in the garage after I get him upstairs. And I'm just blown away because 24 hours later, after all those problems, I had a winch on my door. So bring it to the garage. He goes down for a nap. I slam it all together, installed it, tested it. Everything's good. Honestly, can't believe they got me a unit in like less than 24 hours or something like that. It was amazing, especially after all the trouble I had. So that's the last big thing that I've been doing. I did get to play some Destiny last weekend. I think it was. I know I played last week at some point. It was myself and our I think he was one of the first dredgens in our clan. Irish Hammer, who has changed his name to Last Gunslinger. Him, Big Bear, and Mr. Terry Vod, we all squatted up and went into Gambit because Big Bear was trying to earn his dredging title. He was real close to that. And we basically rolled in Gambit for like 2 hours and just embarrassed people. It was really, really funny. Several of the matches were like 25 to like 109 or something like that. We did pretty well. And then it was just like absolute burns, 2-round burns. They wouldn't even have a primeval summoned yet, and we just destroyed.
Nice.
So that was super fun. I hadn't done that in a while, and it actually made me, because I was burned out. I was kind of hungover on Gambit, right? Because I had played so much of it in Season of the Drifter, and I just didn't want to go back in there without a team. So having a team of players to play Gambit is it's so much fun, man. I forgot how awesome it is when you have 4 people who are like in it to win, and you're just rolling on a streak. So good.
I played a game with the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd it go?
No one died. And
That's
by
awesome.
squad, I mean my squad in Mass Effect.
Okay.
Hey, actually, I got Jay reached out to me today and was like, "Hey, are we still gonna do this Mass Effect Game Club thing?" And I think we should. You've been playing 2. I think I'm gonna get through 2 when I finish Octopath. So let's do it.
When you finish Octopath.
Well, at the rate I'm logging a lot of hours, man. I've only been playing it for like 2 weeks, and I've got 30 hours. So
I just finished Mass Effect 2. I'd never played the Arrival DLC. That was pretty interesting.
Liked it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally gonna spoil. I won't spoil it.
Yeah, we got a lot of haven't played Mass Effect. If there's any old games to not spoil, it's that one.
No, it was the DLC, it had me surprised. It shocked me. I was like, this is an okay story.
Oh,
Because their DLC is usually not great. Except like Shadow Broker was really good.
yeah, that's Nips's
But
favorite.
yeah. I finished it. I played the suicide mission. Before that actually. So any Mass Effect nerds out there know you get the Geth last.
Yeah.
So I get him, and I still haven't done Tally's loyalty mission because I love to take a Geth onto a Quarian ship. It's so funny. For reference, the Quarians are an organic race that made AI, and then those AI became the Geth, their own race, and the Geth kicked them off of their own planet, basically overran them.
Yeah.
Wow.
You end
That-
up in, yeah, it's crazy. And so
I
now
was gonna say there's a sci-fi movie that I watched on Netflix a while ago about that, and I was just talking about it like
Dude,
same
AI
exact concept. It's nuts.
AI is crazy.
Yeah.
So now they live in space, on spaceships. They're like nomads, just floating around in a group of ships,
Hmm.
and they all have to wear basically clean suits all the time because they've lost their
Really?
immune system from living in space for so long.
Yep.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So they can get sick super easily. Anyway, you get to go onto one of their ships, and it's really hilarious to bring one of the race that kicked them off their own planet onto their ship. Because like you get off the ship, and immediately everyone's got guns on you, and they're like, "What is going on?"
I got to do
You're like,
that this
"Nah."
next time.
They're like, "There's a good one." You do have time to get the Geth, and then go do Tally's mission and do his mission. As soon as you do his mission, it'll kick off the trail to the suicide mission.
Right.
And I mean, if you don't want anyone to die, because people can die, just use a guide. It's okay. You don't want to end up replaying that a bunch of times. Or if you want, you could try. My first time I played through it, I had people die, and that was just how I went into the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was all the games that I played. I'm ready to start Mass Effect 3.
Dope.
It's been a long time. It was like a month and a half ago that I said I was starting to play it, and I went back and played the first two, so that way it had a more meaning to me.
Yeah. That's what's up.
That's crazy. I'd literally put like 60 hours into Mass Effect. That way I could just play the third one and enjoy it a little bit more.
That's what you do when you're a true Mass Effect fan, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
basically, if Rex isn't there, it's not worth playing.
Ooh.
We can spoil things from one, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's some stuff going on with gaming.
Not a lot.
ish.
Not a lot.
I saw this today. Marvel released a picture of their upcoming 4 movies and TV shows.
Upcoming
that would be
Phase 4. There's not
Phase
4
4.
movies. There's a lot more than that.
Phase 4. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yep.
Black Widow, the movie, comes out. So these are whatever.
Yeah. This is
comes
from
out-
Devin Coggin at Entertainment Weekly, by the way, so we can cite our sources.
This is from Comic-Con. Black Widow 5/1/20. That's May 1st,
Yep.
2020.
and it's a
It took
movie.
me a long time. Yeah. That's Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's a TV show, fall 2020. Do we know, are they going to be using the actors from the movies in these shows?
Yes. Every single one of them.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Mhm.
The Eternals. This is a movie coming out supposedly November 6th, 2020, starring Angelina Jolie, Kumail Nanjiani, and Salma Hayek. I know that Angelina Jolie is the only character. She's the only person playing a character that's female in the comics. They did change 2 other characters that were male to females, which
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mainly Salma Hayek, who's playing some like Aztec superhero, and I'm like, that's gonna be so sick.
I love Salma Hayek.
Weirdly, Kumail Nanjiani playing a samurai. Like a guy who like studies a lot of Japanese culture and spent a lot of time being a samurai, which wouldn't be as weird if they didn't have an Asian guy playing a white dude too. I was like, um, I don't mean to be stereotypical, but shouldn't the samurai guy be Asian?
Yeah, maybe.
So they Tom Cruise the shit out of this, is what you're saying?
Well,
Tom
no,
Cruise in
because
Last
like
Samurai.
they're just mixing it all around. You know, you
I was
got
like-
men are turned into women. You got an Asian guy,
Oh,
it's an
wait a
Indian
minute.
guy, and you got a white guy that's an Asian
Okay.
guy. Yeah,
I don't know. In the
Alright.
comic, he's clearly Asian.
Yeah.
And then they're like Kumail Nanjiani, and I was like, okay.
I like him though. He's a pretty good
I do
actor.
too.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I don't know what that is, but it's a movie.
The Ten Rings is that's the organization that the bad guy from Iron Man 3 works for, or led.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's February 12th, 2021. WandaVision. I'm guessing that's Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Yep.
Spring 2021. That's a TV show. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is a movie. It includes Scarlet Witch, and it comes out May 7th, 2021. Loki TV show, spring 2021. What If TV show, summer 21.
Oh,
Hawkeye.
we got to stop on What If for a second. This is going to be really cool. This is something that comics in general do a lot, and Marvel's is called What If, but they're basically one-offs where it's like, what if Peggy Carter picked up the Captain America shield when he was frozen in ice and became Captain America? Let's dig into that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
Oh,
be
that's
like a
cool.
non.
No,
It's gonna be like what do they call it? It's gonna be like an anthology sort of thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
They're
an
gonna do an episode.
alternate timeline anthology kind
That's
of thing.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
That actually is really interesting. I would actually watch that.
Hawkeye TV show, fall 2021.
Or Hawkeye. He gets a TV show and Black Widow's dead and she gets a movie.
Spoiler alert.
Thor.
It's
Thor.
been like 9 months or 7 months or
If
something.
you haven't seen it by now, come on.
Yeah,
Get real.
I'm sorry. Don't get pissed about spoilers, especially on this podcast, man. We don't usually spoil anything.
It's true.
Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, before we
That
talk
sounds
about
like a
what
porn.
this is,
That definitely sounds like a porn.
the font that they used for this logo looks like heavy metal, or
It
just
really
reminds me
does.
of heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's got such a like 80s like vibe to it. It's real weird. But
please tell me
it's-
that like follows what Thor was doing in the 1980s, and he turns out he's like in a fucking Swedish
Dude.
metal band or
Oh,
something.
it's
That's
not really-
hilarious.
It's not really about Odin's
a
son.
white
God.
suit. Thor with a white suit and sunglasses and Miami ponytail.
Oh, that'd be the best. That would be the best. That needs to happen.
Just blowing lines and stuff like that. No, this has Natalie Portman becomes Thor, and it has the Hulk in it.
Yeah. Fun fact, I found out recently, the reason we don't have a standalone Hulk movie is because they don't have all the rights for Hulk. So they're only allowed to use him with other people.
Okay.
Interesting.
And then they're gonna make Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Those are all TBD. And drumroll please, Blade.
Yes.
Ooh. Is that going to be a reboot of Blade?
Yes.
I hope so.
It
So
is.
I was talking to my dad. My dad's a huge Blade fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "How do we get Wesley Snipes? What's the cameo from Wesley Snipes?"
You
in
know
this?
he's going to be in it. They have to make him the bad guy. They need to make him the bad guy.
No, that's too confusing. See, my dad
How's
had
that
the
confusing?
perfect one.
Oh,
That
yeah?
that the new Blade is walking down the street, and you have old Blade Wesley Snipes just chilling against the wall, not being phased by anyone walking by. And then when this one walks by, he kind of follows them with his eyes, and then pulls his glasses down and looks over, and then just goes back to chilling on the wall. And I was like,
All right.
yes, that's perfect.
We're getting into some Inception shit with this kind of stuff too, because Ryan Reynolds was in Blade, and now Disney owns the rights to Deadpool as well. So, like, Ryan Reynolds is just all over these superhero movies.
Yeah, he's a weird inconsistency.
Yep.
We talked about Joy-Con drift earlier, and this story from Owen S. Good at Polygon. Joy-Con drift is a real thing, and it's happening to a lot of people. Until now, you had to pay $40 to get it fixed, but now that Nintendo has decided the problem is rampant, they will fix them for free and even give you refunds if you've already paid to get them fixed. They won't even ask
Oh, wow.
questions or check a warranty.
Yep.
So Google that if you
Yeah.
want to send them in. I'm
Good
going to send
news.
mine. I'm sending mine in for sure. I have a Pro controller. We'll just play on the TV until they get fixed.
Yeah. Or throw the Switch on like a table with the kickstand or something. It's very versatile. Yeah, that's good. Good on Nintendo. I mean, granted, it took like an internet fiasco for them to decide to do this, but they're actually doing it. So.
And real quick, we're going to run through the Fantasy Game Critic scores. We got first place is AKA Gear Dad with 44.1. First place is Laz with 47.9 points. Then Gear Dad with 44.1 points, followed by
Me.
Steve, 27.5 points. And then who's after Steve is Fudd with 23.2 points. These are not in order. I had to read them weird.
Yeah, because I wasn't planning on doing them in
then
in
Beard
order.
with 18.2 points. Justin 17 points. Drafty was Nar with 13. This is so difficult. Drafty with 6 points.
Yep.
And then me with 0.
And that's not last place.
That's not last place. It's Phoenix with -3 points.
Ouch! -3.
None of my games have been released yet.
Yeah. Just craziness.
I banked on the holiday real hard.
I owe Fudd some points maybe because that truck racing game came out. And
no, he gets nothing for that.
I have to go assign those points.
Fudd, you get nothing.
Well, hopefully it scored bad and he loses points.
Fudd, you get negative points only. Or nothing. I need more people to do so badly that they get negative points.
Dude, what? You're going to skyrocket at the end of the year because everything you have is fall release.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. I know Last of Us 2 is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
DNF. Listener questions from Cosmodrome Vodka.
This week at Cosmodrome Vodka, we got a little too excited about the upcoming Solstice of Heroes. We were flying our sparrows too fast and attempted to slow them down by putting our feet in between the frame and the exhaust port because you can't do sick BMX bar moves with your handbrakes. Nobody was seriously injured. Some feet were lost, but our microphones were slagged, so we appreciate you stepping in to read this advert. With the aforementioned solstice just around the corner, we thought we'd try to venture out into the newly discovered European aerial zone to find quality ingredients to make our vodka taste even crappier than it already does. It turns out the EAZ is chock full of treasure to be obtained, and our scientists confirmed that the treasure can be mixed in with our vodka. So we donned out newly minted Ghost Nessie shirts, played the newest episode of Guardian Down podcast at 3 times speed, threw our Mondo disc golf putters into the void, and searched out the rarest treasure to make some brand new vodka. But the new mixture was missing something. Luckily, we happened to catch our resident titans giving the smelly hunters a swirly in our Cosmodrome toilets, which are still emitting radiation from the Chernobyl incident of 2586. Yes, it exploded a second time after 1986. We nailed the moment. Solstice Swirl Vodka. It's a lovely mixture of arc, solar, and void treasure with irradiated toilet water to create a tangy and chlorine-dusted taste that will be sure to make your insides do some cosmic gymnastics. But not to worry, the effects of this vodka wear off after only approximately 362 days. Our internal studies have returned inconclusive data. Please look for this new vodka in store basements after the release of Shadowkeep in September, and don't mind the layer of dust. We promise it's not biological. Also, don't forget to use the code #FuckboyPaul to receive a special fuck off from Stugazzo. He's such a treasure. And remember, Guardians, at Cosmodrome Guardian Con, Gunbait and Elmer make babies with you.
I don't like that. Um,
So
all
many
right.
inside jokes in that. Amazing.
Yeah, the the BMX bar moves with handbrakes is something we're talking about in Discord.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was like, "Why do people ride without brakes?" And I was like, "That's why."
Can't spin.
Yeah, well, you can. You can't infinitely spin.
Yeah. True.
I'm not busting any double bars, but also it's harder to catch stuff.
Mm.
Brakes getting in the way. Landing by grabbing the brakes. Bad, bad. Dosey wants to know, what do you do to occupy your brain when pooping?
Hmm.
I look at Reddit.
Reddit, really?
Yeah. Bro, I'm subscribed to one channel and that's r/BMX.
Oh, all
So
right.
just look at people's bikes and watch clips. It's like a curated, it's like if you made an Instagram account and only followed BMX riders, that's just kind of what I did, but it was much easier.
Nice, nice. I usually catch up on like Discord chats and Twitter and look at some memes on the Facebook or something. It used to be Tinder. Toilet Tinder was totally a thing, but I don't do that anymore because fuck dating.
I always wanted to write a song that just said something about how it's sad that we look for love while we're pooping.
You should do it.
I mean,
Scott,
it is though.
is it r/Jeep for Scott?
No, that I've actually looked at that before. It's very disappointing. If you're looking for good information, the interesting thing about that is if you're looking for good information, you got to go to forums, and like half of the forums, even when they have a decent mobile layer, you can't actually do much from them because you're still on a fucking phone, and like
Yeah.
posting on a forum on a phone is just like torture. Not nearly as clean as like, unfortunately, as clean as the social media user interfaces are. So a lot of it, you know, you're pooping, so you might as well look at shit as well. Facebook and Twitter and all that. So pretty much it.
All right.
Quack wants to know when is the last time you pooped yourself and what's the story behind it? It was like a week ago.
Hey, you did just turn
and,
30.
and I was eating lunch with my wife in her car. She came to work, had the kids in the back,
Mm.
and I farted, and it was not a clean exit.
Mm.
And I went upstairs, grabbed my computer, and went home.
All right. Nice. Hey, funnily enough, the last time I shit myself was at work when I was at Pizza Hut still. And it was because I farted and it wasn't a clean fart. But
Not a clean exit, man.
no. But I couldn't leave because I was the only one there. So I just took my underwear off and put them in a plastic bag, threw them in my backpack, and went commando the rest of the day.
See, I would have done that. It went straight through.
Ooh. So there's a lot there, huh?
It was more than I'd like.
All right.
It's more than the acceptable amount.
Scott, what about you?
Probably when I was like 2.
All right.
Bullshit. I don't believe you.
Nah, dude. You can not believe all you want. It hasn't happened. Now watch. Tomorrow I'll fucking have horror.
You have homework, Scott.
diarrhea
You
or
need to
something.
shit yourself so you can come back and talk about it on the show.
Why would I do that? You guys know how. You guys know how like, as much of a disaster as I am a lot of times. You guys know how like uptight and organized I like by the and organized I try to be. So this shouldn't really surprise you.
I hope it
eat
happens.
Nothing but Arby's for a month.
I hope it happens to you.
Oh god, that sounds horrible.
I hope it happens to you in the clean room at work.
That actually happened to somebody. One of the guys that I was working with has been in the industry for, and he's gone and helped like set up fabs and stuff. And one of the he told me there was a bunch of, it was actually down in Texas, believe it or not. He was working with these guys who came over from, I believe it might be China, it might have been Korea, I forget. It was one of countries where, shit, I don't want to say the name. I'm gonna go with Korea. We'll say it was
Okay.
Korea because that's I think where the company has a big that particular company has a big like
Cool. It was in
presence
another
of
country.
exec.
Got it.
No, it was in Texas, and this team from Korea came over, and they were all basically they hadn't really visited the U.S., and so somebody took them out, and they basically got like hammered the night before and ate a bunch of like spicy Texas barbecue. So the next day at 9 a.m., the one dude's trying to make it, and he didn't make it.
And you're like, I only speak
And
Korean.
there's yeah, and there's turds all over the wall and stuff. Like it
Oh,
came out of
projectile.
yeah. He was telling me he's like it was the most fucked up thing I've ever seen, and I've never laughed so. I'm like, dude, that's fucked up.
Like that Dave Chappelle skit where he just poops and launches himself off the toilet, and like that always made me laugh so much. All right. Scott asked this.
What, you're skipping 3 questions? 4 questions?
I don't
You
know.
don't have to skip.
I scrolled.
three
I scrolled
questions.
too far. Um, Ian wants. Ian wants to know, why do feet smell? Because they get sweaty and their inside sucks. Dosey wants to know, how many times can I ask the same podcast question before it gets old? I don't know.
If it well, as long as that question is how you gonna cook that chicken, it'll never get old.
I always got recipes for you.
Yeah.
Drafty wants to know, being hunters, what is your favorite crayon to snack on while gaming?
Oh, someone
don't know.
switched that.
Ban,
I don't know, man. That's weird. Like,
ban. First
we're-
off,
we're
I
all
should
tight.
never be associated as a filthy hunter. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get
No,
that straight right now.
All right, so this was edited, and the
No,
only
that's
reason I'm
exactly
bringing
the way
this
the
up is
question came
because
in.
there's a follow up that is quite good. He said Titans, but
Yeah. Jay's follow up. Why are hunters so insecure about Titans?
because they're not Titans.
Yeah, that's. I thought that was the obvious answer.
All right. Now back to Scott. What is one oh this is the old one.
Did you guys talk about this on the episode I missed
No.
No,
or no? Okay.
No.
All right. I figured it'd be a good discussion question.
This is a long one.
yeah,
What is one fandom, TV, movies, books, video games, comics, etc., you were into as a kid and would like to get back into? I think last time I said going outside.
Yeah,
you're
you said
doing,
being
right?
outside.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's not TV, movies, or books, but all the stuff that I used to be into, I kind of already got back into, or just decided to leave in the dust. Like I thought,
You made a solid case for it, so that
Yeah.
was a good.
yeah. I used to skate a lot, and I don't know. It's weird because, well, I heard as a kid, oh, kids, all they do is sit inside and play their damn video games. I was like, I didn't really play video games. I was always out skateboarding and
Yeah,
just
we
screwed around.
we were outside a lot. We'd go to the skate park all the time. We had a trampoline. Go to the
Yeah.
park. Yeah,
Playing music.
yeah.
I mean, that's not outside, but whatever. It's not sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So doing that, just I'm trying to cut down on screen time.
Yeah,
So
100%, man. I feel that.
for me, it'd just be reading. I used to read so much. Like,
Anything in particular though? Animorphs?
no, not Animorphs. I mean, that was cool when I was in like 5th grade and stuff.
You're dang right it was.
But probably just like sci-fi, fantasy. I really like sci-fi. I want to read a lot more of the classics. Read some more Heinlein. You know.
What kind of sci-fi do you like, Steve? Is it-
Specifically, I like anything that deals with like AI, the law of robotics, or like human consciousness.
Oh my god,
Dude, time
Have
travel is
you
where it's at.
Have you read Sea of Rust by I think it's C. Robert Cargill?
No, I haven't.
Dude, read it. It's so good.
I'll have to check it out. But yeah, I think next
I
on my
got the-
list, I'm gonna read Dune. Because I've never read Dune. Yeah.
Did you ever read Timeline?
Yes.
Crichton?
Big one.
Yeah, of course, dude. Crichton's my favorite author.
That movie sucked.
But the book was incredible.
Yeah, it's a cool
Absolutely
book.
incredible.
I love time travel stuff. Anything with time travel's right up my alley.
Yeah. Heck yeah. What about you, Scott?
All right.
What's your fandom?
I said Ninja Turtles. I would definitely like to, because the cartoon was the old cartoon was cool. It was kind of funny. But it wasn't like at all close to the source material. There's a bunch of stuff. Like I was telling Ben, I have, I think it's like an omnibus, I guess you'd call it, of like the first few like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, graphic novel type comics that came out in the 80s before they got picked up by the mainstream. My grandmother got it in like the late 90s or early 2000s for me at a yard sale for like and I was like, what's this, And I started reading, I'm like, why are all their bandanas red? And then I started reading like why that was, and like basically that this was like the source material.
Yeah.
And like I read it back then, I'm like, wow, this is pretty like, this is kind of intense. And then like now going back and reading it again is like 30 or over 30 versus like when I was 20, I had noticing more stuff. There's a bunch of crazy like dark shit that they never even touch on in some of the series. So I mean, I don't obviously have the time, but I would love to be able to like pick up an omnibus of all of the.
You should get into the newest run. It's supposed to be absolutely incredible.
I've heard that, and it's like the main Ninja Turtles run, right? Like, what's the Marvel universe that is like the main? It's like Universe 32 or something like that.
Turtles are DC? Turtles are DC.
Well,
they team up with Batman all the time.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm more thinking of like what's the main canon for DC or Marvel, right? I'm thinking I want to do that. I want to read that Ninja. I don't want to go through like all the other stuff where it's like, what if this happened? Some of the weird.
Oh no, the mainline one was rebooted. Like the 2000, somewhere between like 2008 and 2010, and it's the same. It's the same people that put out The Walking Dead. That's the publisher.
Okay.
I am something. I don't know. There's 4 letters. It starts with an I.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look that up then, because it's definitely something I'd be interested in reading.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, I've heard the new run is really fucking good, and I heard there's a bunch of stuff in it. There is no way that's how they're gonna do that. And then, like, I confirmed it by looking up the spoilers. And I'm like, oh man. I wonder how that's gonna go.
You mean the spoiler where Donatello dies and he stays dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 3 turtles. Still. We talked about that way early in the show too.
Yeah. This is not the first time turtles have come up.
No.
All right. Scott says, what's currently on your playlist? We don't, this podcast isn't a playlist, Scott.
No. Currently on mine is What's Your Favorite? The new podcast from one JC Jesse. And a certain somebody that you guys know very well is episode 2.
Nice.
Justin?
Well, I mean, he's on all of them, but yeah. No, I'm on episode 2. Episode 1 is Dan, and then me.
You weren't good enough.
That's
to be
a good
episode
start.
1. Yeah. It was a ton of fun. So,
see, I like to hop in way late. You know what I mean? Episode like 80 or 90.
Unless it's Side Quest Sunday.
Yeah. I did a good job. I did a good job on that podcast.
Indeed.
And then, you did, and then Dan promptly undid.
Yeah.
He controls your
retcon. The only retcon that he's ever done in that. I'm still trying to. I know there's something that I've been listening to. I know there's a thing.
Right.
They scroll to the bottom of Spotify. Let me narrate this so that way it's not.
As far as music, though, I've been listening to a ton of Tigran Hamasyan. He's really good.
Yeah, no, I've just been listening to Chill Hop. That's it.
Chill out. All right.
Trying to see.
Um,
I've been doing. It's been a real weird mix between, for me, like the. I'm trying to look up the name of this podcast that I got because it's a really good one. And Ben, I think you'd actually like that because it. Oh wow! All right, I'll get to that in a minute. It's basically the. All right, so the obviously ghost stories. I call it their new episodes when they put them out. The Crucible Radio guys at Everyone now they're doing that podcast. I've catch it's usually pretty good, but on that, and I'm listening to the computer programming to complete developer podcast again, but trying to catch up on that. But the one that I got off of at Everyone they promoted was Tomorrow We Die, and it is one of the former developers at Bungie who Sand Rider. I think it's John Wisniewski, and one of the other
Okay.
guys who's in like the Seattle music scene. So they do a podcast where they grab people who have went out, like musicians and people who have went out on the road and toured for a decent amount of time. And it doesn't matter if you like the genre of music that they're in. They tell tour stories, and so it's really entertaining. The first one was this girl who plays drums, and I think her band was the name of it was Tacos with an exclamation. And she was telling a bunch of crazy stories about touring in her previous bands and some of the sketchy stuff they'd get into, like as far as like they go to a show or go to like a venue and they pull up and there's like three guys watching porn and they're like, hey, this is a house, we're supposed to be playing a show here tonight, is this an actual thing? And they're like, oh yeah, let's just wait until this scene's done. And they're all just like, man, this is how horror movies start, we're all gonna die. So it was really entertaining, dude. I telling you, Ben, I think you'd really enjoy it because they have some really entertaining stuff on. It's called Tomorrow We Die, and they got the phrase, they got the title of it because there's uh, uh, Lemmy Kilmister interview, Lemmy Kilmister Motorhead, where he's like quoting Old Testament or something. It's like, eat, drink, and be merry because tomorrow we die. So I've been going back and forth between those podcasts and a pretty solid playlist of like old school New York hardcore. Obviously, Sick of It All, Agnostic Front. I've been listening to some Madball, which I haven't do in years.
oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's Murphy's Law, like the whole H2O. That was all like my last week. I was like into that. This week I've because of the work schedule, I'm able to spend a little more time with Owen because I didn't get as much last week because I had a day shift and it was just like getting home and see him for a couple hours, like go to bed and do it again,
Right.
and lose one of my days off. So it's been listening to more like Bouncing Souls and stuff this week. He has to listen to the Boss Tones today.
Nice. I have a podcast recommendation. It's only one episode, but on my way back from Wisconsin, I listened to, at the time, it was the most recent Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky. And they had DMC on, and it was absolutely incredible.
Like a Run DMC?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And he just told his story pretty much. And they asked him really good questions and stuff like that. But like, he's had a really interesting life. And like, he didn't, the best part is that like, he didn't realize that they were, like a big deal until they were like the godfathers of like modern hip hop,
No shit, that's wild.
So yeah, he didn't even really want to do it. So, so yeah, he goes through a lot of that. It was really uplifting, really cool. And he's like a motivational speaker now, and he's making music with like rock bands and stuff like that. So
Nice.
yeah, it was definitely check that out. Your Mom's House with DMC. So
Cool. Jay wants to
Nice.
know, what is your ideal ice cream sundae? I have to say, local mom and pop shop, Ask around. Not too hot, not too cold. Got all the family there. It's a nice, beautiful day. That's my ideal ice cream sundae.
Mine is just straight turtle. You know, caramel, chocolate, nuts, vanilla ice cream. Can't beat it.
It's a tough one, man. I don't know. Like, it's always for me. The go-to is always Stewart, because everybody says Ben and Jerry's, but fuck them. They're played out, and
This isn't ice cream.
They're,
This is ice cream sundae.
ice
Yeah.
cream sundae.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I DIY it, man.
Who makes ice cream
Are we
sundaes out of
talking
Ben and
about-
Jerry's?
I don't know, people. I don't know. I usually go with Stewart's ice cream of some sort, because they have some good unique flavor, and basically it's like an upstate New York, New England maybe thing. I know they're in Vermont, and I think they might be. I don't know how far it reaches, but yeah, Stewart's ice cream. They have some really good flavors, and I'll usually do like M&M's, caramel, and some sort of hot fudge, because that's how I roll.
All right. Last one.
From Ian. Would you rather get free admission to the movies for the rest of your life, but while in the theater you cut loud, wet farts every 20 minutes, or pay half price for any movie, but you have explosive diarrhea during the most pivotal moments?
Option 1, for sure.
Neither.
Yeah.
Well, you have to pick one.
Do you though? Is the movie? I don't know.
Pick my
The
regular
movies.
life.
This is a Guardian's choice, all right? Ian stole
was
it from
gonna
Dad
say-
Tales, and we're doing it.
I was gonna say movies that I don't really watch a lot of movies anymore.
Well, then it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go with option A.
Yeah, because
I'd
I don't
rather
want to
cut-
leave
yeah.
during the greatest part to go have explosive diarrhea.
I'll just use a man pawn.
Yeah,
You
who
know.
cares if you're annoying the other people? You still are enjoying the movie, you know.
Every 20
See, I
minutes.
was
Yeah.
I was gonna go with that option because it would annoy the other people.
Yeah, it's still good.
Just go to see an action movie and hope an explosion's happening.
There you go. But never
And
trust
if
that
it's-
fart. Never trust it.
That's why I said
was
get a
gonna
man
say
pawn.
an explosion's gonna happen.
Have to get a Depend subscription.
Just stuff a napkin right behind your butthole. All right, that's the show. Ending it on butt talk,
All right.
and we ended it where we started.
Indeed. Indeed.
Over 100, and is this really episode 130?
Yes, it is.
Holy crap!
Wow.
130 episodes.
Yep. Hey, everybody in the greater Northeast Ohio area, as we wrap this show up, we are doing another meetup, and it's going to be on September 7th. We haven't picked a spot yet. That's still a bit up in the air, but mark your calendars. Come hang out, drink some beers with us. Me and Ian are for sure going to be there. Trying to
You
convince
should
Dan.
grill.
Yeah, maybe. Safety Czar said something about maybe hosting one, but I'm not gonna put that ball in his court. If he wants to volunteer, cool. If not, we'll go somewhere else. No, I'm just saying, like, he offered at one point, but I don't know. What if we get too many people? Then I feel real bad. He's good people.
You can find me anywhere at that Ben Malone. Yeah, you can find this show. Sorry, barelyads.com, barelyaDestinyShow@gmail.com, twitter.com/barelyads, twitch.tv/barelyads, or barelyads.com. I missed one.
Patreon.com/barelyads.
That's true.
Yep.
And band of the week is Humble Braggers. humblebraggers.bandcamp.com.
Nice. Scott, where you at?
Mostly in the garage these days. At Slapshot Scott on Twitter. The O's are zeros, but don't usually at me because there's really I open up Twitter and I'm just like, God, this is awful, and I just close it, and then I've set my phone back on the counter and I have to usually finish.
And you can find me at Mitchy Slaps. Wait,
Nobody can find anyone there.
The one?
All right. So, all right. Well, that's it. That's the show. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, submit your slogan for the end of the show here, listeners.
Yeah.
We're
do
done
it.
with the cheeseburgers. I'm done with it. I've had enough.
Yeah. So let's throw it back and be the light you want to see in others.
Until you give us a different slogan.
Yeah.
I think that was a good one.
All right. Bye, everybody. Let's clap.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Dope. All right. We got to raid somebody. Let us raid. Huh. Thanks for hanging out, Hive of Bees. It was nice to meet you, man. I've been seeing you in his channel, in his Discord channel here and there. So thanks for stopping by. And we are going to raid. Oh, cool. Let's raid Sloot Balls.
This picture of the silhouette man standing on your bike that's on Amazon,
Mhm.
the seat is just going into his butt.
That sounds like a Potato Thumbs bit. Did it bruise his taint, causing multi-hour erection?
Now you're just writing Cosmodrome vodka.
That was a real story that we read in Learning Things with Stu, Potato Thumb style.
What?
Yeah. So,
Oh my god.
all right, we're raiding.
All right, Steve, you got to get a rack for the back of your bike.